guys, we're catching up with you today just to talk a little bit about the last few days, and I wanted to respond to a lot of the feedback and comments that I've received in TikTok. Let's talk about normalization. I've been accused of normalizing the situation in Iran. That's completely false. Nothing is normal, far from it, particularly for Iranians like us who are living and breathing and eating in Tehran. It's very easy for the Iranians outside of Iran who have been manipulated by the media narrative and then start accusing anyone who has any sense of normality or of life in Tehran and accuse them of normalizing the situation. It's not normalizing the situation whatsoever. A different perspective. If you go out to a restaurant, especially those Iranians living outside Iran, which is very easy for them to comment. If you go to a restaurant or go to the movies, go and have a coffee, even for God's sake, make love. Does that mean that you're normalizing the situation? Does that mean that you don't care? Particularly for you who are outside of Iran. It's very easy for you to criticize us in Iran. What are we supposed to do? Sit at home, bang our heads against the wall, be depressed? Why is it okay for you to carry on with life as normal, but not for us? It doesn't mean that we forget. It doesn't mean that we forgive. It's like passing of a close relative, a mother or father. Can we ever forget? No, but we have to move on. And that's simply what Iranians are doing inside Iran. It doesn't mean that Iranians are happy. They're not happy with the status quo, and so on and so forth. All the challenges that all of you are aware of. But it doesn't mean that because we go to the park like I am now, or we go and have a coffee, or we go and have a restaurant, or even if I show that perspective of life in Tehran means that I'm normalizing the situation. No. It means that I'm sharing the truth and realities of social life in Iran, and not just for the elite. I'm in the park right now. All walks of life are over here. And I will show you more and more and more of Iran and Tehran, where all walks of life are just carrying on with life as best as they can. Turn around to those outside Iran. What are you doing for Iran? What have you done for Iran? Is it just okay for you to write a comment on my page and start accusing me of being a terrorist and part of the government? Why? Because I'm living life. I'm trying to get by. You guys haven't been in Iran during the struggles of Corona and the challenges that we've had on the streets, as well as the price hikes created by the very government that most of you are living in those countries. Is America perfect? Is London perfect? Does London only have positive points? We don't have homeless, we don't have crime, we don't have rape, we don't have murder in London or in the US. We need to only focus on the negatives. Should the world only focus on the negatives of America and Europe and the UK? You don't have any positives? There's always a balance. And all I'm trying to do is change the media narrative about Iran and Tehran in particular, that we're all at home, everything is crumbling around us, we have soldiers all over the place, we're completely oppressed, we cannot breathe, we cannot walk, we cannot work. It's far from the truth. I'm not saying that we don't have major bloody, excuse the French, fucking issues in Tehran, but that doesn't mean that my country is a bad country, and that because I'm sharing my experiences with you means that I'm a bad person. The haters continue hating. It's normal, I'm used to it. You know, just because we're talking about some positives and changing the reflective of what Tehran life is like for the people of Iran, instead of attacking, why don't you embrace it? Because the media narrative about what life is like in Tehran is completely the opposite of what reality is. And let me just say this to all those Iranians outside Iran. If Iran was so bad, ask yourself this question. Why is it that so many thousands and thousands of Iranians from outside Iran are traveling to Iran on a daily basis to visit their family and visit their homeland? Ask yourself that question. If all those Iranians outside Iran care so much about their country and want to change over here, so why don't you come over? Why don't you come over and progress the change? Instead of sitting at your homes in front of a TV, watching crap news that talk lies, why don't you come here and make that change? If you love this country so much, and if I'm wrong. The problem is that people do not want to face reality and the facts. And the facts is that we have a lot of shit happening in Iran. But we also have a lot of good. And when I say good, it's good out of bad. i.e. people are just getting by, they're surviving. It's very different to normalizing. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to change the narrative that a lot of people have outside Iran and show a different perspective. Because Iran, for me, is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. We have a rich culture and heritage, which has been lost on a daily basis. People are so hospitable and so kind, despite all the shit that we're going through. And these are the things that I'm aiming to do with my TikTok channel. It's just simply to share my daily blog, given the different perspective of what Iran is about. It's not about ignorance, and it's not about ignoring the shit that's happening.